Hello there. There are reports that Boris Johnson is preparing to surrender part of our fishing grounds back to EU control. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily, and a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. In this morning's video, I asked if Boris was about to make a U-turn on controlling the UK internal market by watering down the UK internal market bill, and doing that could place significant strains on the cohesion of the UK. And now reports are emerging that to get a deal, the UK might be about to hive off the waters around the Channel Islands and hand them over to Brussels control. Now, to be fair, these reports appear to originate in the heads of some of those on the EU negotiating team, with Reuters and Nasdaq.com saying, Britain offered tentative concessions on fisheries in trade talks with the European Union last week, two diplomatic sources told Reuters, just as London was publicly threatening to breach the terms of its divorce deal with the bloc. But those sources weren't actually at the meeting, they were just passing on what they were briefed. And the UK government has rejected the rumours, with one government source telling the Telegraph that the UK will continue to control the waters around the Channel Islands. Now, the reality may be that this proposal is an exercise in kite flying to gauge public response to the idea. And if so, someone needs to cut the line and cut it quick. Now, if you look at this Marine Management Organisation chart, you can see the area concerned is the southern Crown dependency areas that protrude into the Bay of St Malo. The other Crown dependency being the Isle of Man in the Irish Sea. Now, looking at the relevant size of the area as well as its proximity to France, you can imagine bankers and others deciding that this would be a favourable price to pay for things like continued city access into the single market. But once the waters were under foreign control, what would come next? EU management over the landing and monitoring of fish in Channel Island ports? And that would open up all sorts of cans of worms where places like Gibraltar and the Falkland Islands are concerned. Sounds like a non-starter to me. So I hope that this is an idea that will quickly fade under the spotlight of publicity. But there has also been movement on city access into the single market. Yesterday, the story seemed to change from the EU saying that they would be unlikely to give the UK immediate access to their financial markets on the 1st of January 2021 into, we'll give you another 18 months of access until the 30th of June 2022. Reuters reports that the European Union is set to throw the City of London an 18-month lifeline to continue clearing euro derivatives after Britain's unfettered access to the bloc ends in January, an EU draft document showed. And it went on to say that this would be time-limited. The EU has acknowledged that a sudden cut-off in access could undermine financial stability as users sought to shift large derivative positions at short notice, giving it little choice but to grant what it has dubbed time-limited access, with a formal announcement expected next week. Now, whether that is being driven by financial necessity or in response to quid pro quo overtures from the UK government, I suppose we'll never know. But the EU has been unable to coax this trade out of the City of London over the previous 4 or so years, so you do have to wonder whether another 18 months will make any difference. More likely that the city will continue to cement its position rather than lose it. But what of the people of the Channel Islands? Would they be content to be the pawns in a trade deal game between the UK and the EU? One suspects not. Now, the government could be thinking of putting a different quota regime in place for the Channel Islands areas that continues to favour EU trawlers. So it reverts back to full UK control, but with EU common fishery policy rules in place for quotas. But that would surely mean continued overfishing in that region of our area of control. How could we square that with taking back control? It would make a nonsense of the UK having a coherent fisheries stock management programme. So as I said, I'm hoping this is either a kite or it's just wishful thinking by an EU negotiator. But it is something that needs stamping on now. So it's good to hear that a Number 10 spokesperson said today, the draft UK-EU Fisheries Framework Agreement is based on the bilateral arrangement with Norway that the EU already has. That continues to be our approach. And now we have Michel Barnier throwing around a few accusations. His take on Boris Johnson unilaterally overriding the withdrawal agreement treaty using the UK Internal Market Bill is that it's a ploy to distract us all from his handling of the pandemic. So, nothing to do with threats from Brussels that they're about to blockade Northern Ireland if the UK does not kowtow to their demands. Politico reports, a British government effort to distract from domestic criticism over the handling of the coronavirus crisis may have contributed to London's decision to backtrack on the Brexit deal, the EU's top Brexit negotiator Michel Barnier told ambassadors. Speaking on Monday to senior diplomats from 8 Eastern EU countries, Barnier called Britain's move a provocation and said that Prime Minister Boris Johnson's domestic considerations may be part of the reason for the UK's new approach, according to 2 EU diplomats and a person briefed on the conversation. The real truth is that the EU would like to get its hands on both the city and our fish. It needs them both. So any thoughts of the UK trading one off against the other would be quite laughable. Except that there are still powerful pro-EU forces at work in the UK. Many will have direct communications into the EU negotiating network and be working 24/7 to try and destabilise the UK effort by any means possible. But at the end of the day, is it the UK's problem if its people have decided to take back control and remedy the conscious destruction of our fishing industry by Brussels to the benefit of the EU? I think not. And if the Channel Islands fishing territories stand as a mocking example of how the UK regained its independence and stood up to an expansionist EU, then I say we should double down in holding them. In fact, let's have a Royal Navy battleship blasting "Thou shalt have a fishy on a little dishy" from its deck aimed towards France as it patrols the border of our fishing territories. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.